Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's AYCG Spoilercast for Daredevil Season 3. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Hello.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to our Spoilercast for Daredevil Season 3. Once again, this is a spoiler cast, so if you have not finished the season and don't want to hear about the entire show, you may not want to listen at this point. Come back
Get
later.
off of your convict.
That's hard. It's real hard.
It is. So, last warning. We're done after this. We're going into spoilers. Here we go.
Last warning.
Last warning. All right. So, guys, Daredevil Season 3.
Daredevil was a mom. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Who knew? He was born.
So the thing is like his
I'm
mom.
so bad. I'm so bad.
We're going there first.
Let's just talk. Like his mom knew that he was Daredevil and like has superhuman like hearing. I would assume. What was that at that point? Like, are you serious? Like, that's how you want to do this reveal?
No, I don't think she knew he had superpowers.
Oh, I thought she knew this.
Wait, did she?
I mean, she knew that there was something enough about him where he could like be Daredevil without.
She definitely knew that he could
blind.
do more things. She's like, how do you do that when he does like when he was like punching things and like fighting? It was remarkable, incredible what he could do without seeing.
But
she do that.
why would she assume just because of that he could hear like through
during a storm
through a building? Like,
yeah, I guess.
I mean,
but I just want to say, starting off the season, we mentioned on the podcast is the way that they had the sound in the first few episodes with his hearing coming back. If you had your headphones on like I do now, it was really cool effect. It made your ear feel funky actually when you were listening to it. You're like, it's like I can't. It was going for that effect. It was quite impressive. But I have to say, I again really enjoyed this season and I binged it. This was a binge Netflix show straight through and through. We haven't had one of them in a while. And I actually enjoyed every episode in this. There were obviously points where there were downer points. Not everything can be.
An episode, I was kind of like, let me get through this. I want to find out what's going on in the.
I almost skipped through that. But we needed to get
the Karen episode.
Yeah, we needed to get the Karen story at some point, though.
Yeah, it could have been like 10 minutes shorter.
It could have been. And I thought Foggy was less annoying this season than he has been in other seasons.
No, Foggy was pretty solid this season.
Yeah. So, man, but my favorite, of course, Kingpin. I think he was fantastic, and this was the real Kingpin this season with his plan. And like the entire, you know what's funny is like the entire time he's getting out of prison, and I'm like, he's running this. This is his. Yeah. He got shanked on.
It's like that's what Kingpin is. It's like he has like strings and fingers and everything. He's pulling them. He's pulling every string, and like everything that's happening to him is because he has already planned and designed the outcome.
Yeah,
of what
every single thing. Like, and when he didn't kill that,
that's what I wanted from him. This is what we finally get. This Kingpin, and it's like it's amazing. And yeah, and then Vincent. How do you say his last name?
D'Onofrio.
He was amazing in this.
He was fantastic. The only character I thought, you know what, I didn't like Vanessa actually when she finally showed up. I thought her character was much different.
She's supposed to be weird though, like because she's like the object of his affection, but like he can't figure her out really because like she obviously doesn't care that he's bad, but like she also likes nice things.
Yeah.
So
he likes nice things too. I mean,
I know, but I mean, like in the end, like she's just as bad as him, just in a different way. So,
yeah, that's true. But she turns bad. She more like loves the aspect of knowing what he does. Finally.
Well, I mean, she knew
he's the piece of the puzzle that fits him.
She knew. Yeah, she knew though in the first season that he was like bad, but like didn't care.
So now she wants in on it. She wants in.
Yeah, she wants to be
part of that world. She's like, I think it was like when she first meets him, it's like, wow, this guy's like dangerous. I want to see like what's going on here, and like and she learns about it. She's like, nah, I want in on this.
Yeah. I think this was like, and I don't know who would disagree with me here. This was the season 2 we wanted. Is this anybody disagree with this?
Well, I mean, the Punisher stuff.
I think it was good. I really liked Punisher. So
I think that having but I think if you
I like that. Nah, I like that it was like the third season. I think
if you flip flop these two seasons,
I would have.
I
would not have wanted the.
I was actually really happy with this because
Kingpin that quickly again.
Yeah, because like it would have felt like I think too jarring because at least in season 2 it's like you started to think like okay, Kingpin is still sort of dangerous in his own right.
Yeah,
but we got other shit to deal with. And plus like that opened up to us even seeing like Punisher as like another, unknown factor in how he relates to Kingpin. And stuff like
I mean,
that.
the Punisher was a great character. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no question about that. But there was a lot
Absolutely.
of downers in season 2 that I felt
No,
like.
absolutely.
were.
Anything with the lectures is like,
Yeah.
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 No, I'm
So-
not feeling this.
This one didn't have that, and with the exception of like you said, the Karen episode really was the only questionable episode in the season. And this
I wasn't in love with the what's his name, Bullseye origin episode too much.
I thought Bullseye's character.
Oh, I thought that was great.
Tom
I thought-
Dexter.
I liked his character.
Yeah,
Like
Dex.
he's a
Yeah.
flawed villain, and I love flawed villains. Like it makes.
I
me-
mean, I mean,
Well, I don't think Mike was
No,
saying
I don't
like
really-
the flawed villain aspect. I think he just didn't
I
like
thought
the
his
because
episode was, again, we spent a little bit too much time in the past when the present was more interesting.
Sure. I mean, I guess, but you have to establish who this guy is and why he's such a psychopath.
I
You
mean,
can.
Really not
you
much.
can
I
do
thought it was just
different
like
ways.
15 minutes of like.
It wasn't a
him
full
and-
episode. It was
that was a
Kingpin
full
watching.
episode.
No, it was Kingpin just watching him like beating somebody with a baseball, and that was it.
And all the
that was
therapy
that was
sessions?
pretty much a full episode.
Yeah.
Go back.
Well, no, because it went to the present, and then he was stalking the girl. He hired the girl at the restaurant, Kingpin, and like the whole stalking thing occurred
I'm not sure if that
in
was.
that same episode.
I don't know. If that was
Maybe
within
it
the
felt
same
longer
episode.
to Mike, guys.
Maybe.
Like,
I'm pretty certain that was all in the same episode. Because,
Perfect.
I mean, like,
It's called Perfect Game, I think, was the name of the episode.
yeah. So, whoops, jeez, I just zoomed in.
He
Awesome.
did that last time.
Yep.
I also have to say, by the end of the season, I was sick of the whole like buzzing fly effect every time he was getting mad. Like, I know why they did that, but I'm like, okay, we get it. He's angry. Buzzing flies.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind his character Bullseye. I thought his character was really cool, and
I don't think Mike said he didn't like him.
I took it like he didn't like him.
I didn't like that origin episode.
Okay.
I definitely just slowed down.
I thought he was a good character.
Good villain. I mean, what that established to me at least, is like this guy is irredeemable.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to be redeemable though.
Well, yeah, I know, but like, I mean, there's like a hint of gray. I think even with Kingpin.
Well, it's like with Punisher. Like they took two different paths, but they're very similar characters. Their moral
True.
balance is on the opposite ends, but like they kind of start in this good place, in the military, trying to do the right thing.
But yeah, the thing with the origin episode, though, it shows you like
Right.
that. Like at his core, he is broken and he'll
And
never
that's
be
what I'm
right.
saying. That's where whereas Punisher is the opposite side of that, where his family is and things were more important, and like the good stuff was more of his core.
I wouldn't say he was
rotten core.
I wouldn't say he was broken. I would say he's like unstable. But I mean,
think
it was
easily manipulable.
right, and that was what it was.
No. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, like he's killing people at like 6 years old.
right.
I mean, it's over. I'm sorry. He was.
I mean, his core was not. It's not on the good side.
No, he was never going to be a good guy.
He tried.
Therapist,
I mean, he could have been possibly.
he just
but
needed to attach himself to right people, but he never really
and
seemed to do
that's
that
the
well.
problem is he didn't have. Once that therapist died, and he didn't have somebody.
His compass or whatever they call it,
North Star.
His North Star was Kingpin at that point. And once Kingpin realized that, he could exploit it. And I love that about Kingpin. I thought that was awesome. Exploiting every single person he can in this. Oops.
Mhm.
I just accidentally pressed print. I love that. All right. So, let's talk about the story. So we have Matthew, who it was last we saw him dead in Defenders, essentially.
Last we saw him, he was rescued.
Rescued, but yes, true. Yes. So injured, obviously, critically, rebuilding his character. Do we like his arc where it was like he was kind of couldn't fight and he was rebuilding?
I think I mentioned this on the prior podcast, but I really like when they strip a character down to and make them need to rebuild who they are.
Yeah,
And I
you
think
break it
they
down to build
really-
it back up again.
right? And to really solidify, kind of like what I was saying with Red Dead, like where do I stand as who I am? Am I Daredevil or am I Matt Murdock? And
Gotcha.
that struggle and that
Right.
journey, I think was really interesting. They did a great job with that in this series.
I think
because
this
the thing
season,
is,
go ahead.
I was going to say the thing is in the beginning, not only is he a physically broken man because of the stuff that happened in Defenders, but he's emotionally broken too because of what happened with Elektra. Having just got back with the love of his life only to lose her again. Yet somehow he survives and she doesn't. That's
Well, that's the thing, and I think I liked his growth as a character in this season a lot. where you can see him turn into that. So he gets back to, comes back from the dead essentially to his friends and says, I don't want to be your friend anymore. We can't be friends. But then you see that morph back in, realizing how bad of a call he's made and saying how much he needs his friends. And it's like basically what differentiates himself from the villain.
I like the line that he said, like the one, I forget who it actually said. He's like, talking about his friends and like how he has people coming back to him. Oh, Nadim was like, they're coming back, and it's like, I don't think it's me, it's them. They keep coming back to me. It's like, yeah, I guess that's a sign of a good friend. And like everything he's trying to do to push them away, they're trying to keep him, on the right path and trying to get him to be where he needs to be the good person or whatever. And so I thought that was a pretty neat interaction between those two characters. And I thought Nadim was a good character.
I thought Nadim was a good character too.
He became a good character. At first, I'm like, what is this guy doing?
I was wondering while we were watching the first
episode. Who's this pencil pusher? What the fuck? Get off my screen.
All I know is, I definitely like to see his fall and then his redemption. The only thing I felt like for his character was off was the way that he just kind of let himself go out he didn't go out like a chump. He I guess he knew about the law about admission if you're going to die kind of thing. Maybe that's what
I don't think he knew about the law. I think he just wanted that for his family.
Okay.
Well, he does say it in the video. Like,
well, yeah, that's true.
My dying the proclamation, whatever. He's
oh yeah, no, he knew what he was doing. Like
he's pretty pretty involved in
he
the
basically
law.
let himself die at that point, knowing that this would make it
plus
completely.
It's the only way to keep his family safe. Like his family is no longer safe even in India.
And he kind of had this like I'm never coming back from this anyway like moment where he knew like he took part in certain things that just
once the father what's his name got killed that sequence, holy shit, the church, the priest,
Lawton, maybe they said Father Lawton.
Maybe that's it, but man,
you don't hear his name too much. That's the problem.
But like that sequence was, that was like whew, the church attack where he just bullseye just kills him. Yeah. Once that happened, though, I knew that character wasn't gonna. There's no redemption for even though he was a good guy, I knew he was going to die because there's just you can't.
So if you're a good guy, not necessarily a good guy.
Exactly.
I kind of marked him from the first time we saw him. Honestly,
he seemed like he seemed like a character that was expendable
guy.
But that's the thing about this season. I really like what I really liked about it was like it felt like the gloves were off and like anybody was on the chopping block.
Sure, yeah,
I got that.
Foggy, especially Karen.
Definitely thought Karen had a chance to go in the episode named after her, where we had the flashback for her. So,
well, that exchange is one of my favorite exchanges because again, it just shows like when Karen is backed to a corner, she can really be a force to be reckoned with. Just because she straight up walked into Kingpin's house and basically just kept pushing his buttons.
That was a great scene.
I don't. That makes me want to try to remember season 1 more because I don't remember him treating Wesley that closely.
Oh yeah,
he did.
He was. Yeah, that was his trusted right hand guy.
I know he was his right hand guy.
That was his. They were like brothers. They were like.
I mean, I remember when he couldn't find Wesley, he was he was
freaking out. Everything he thought all the other gangs did something.
Every single thing that she was saying on that couch was pressing his button, knowing that's what he went through. You could see it from season 1.
You could, and plus the thing is, you could see when she was telling him how she did it. You could see his facial reaction
because he went
again Vincent.
He does a bunch of things. He does this thing where he stands with his hand. He's always moving it. I don't know. Yes. I don't know why, but I know if you ask him, he'll tell you why.
Well, it's part of the character's.
Just the physicality. But he was good. Although sometimes in normal conversation, it seemed a little hammy how he talks because the way he talks is kind of stilted. If there was a smaller conversation, he's just no, Mister.
The best was when Nadim asked him when they're transporting him initially, he's like, "Do you understand? Do you agree or something like that?" And he's like, "When I was a boy," and goes into this thing, and it's you could just say yes, you don't need to monologue.
Being sinister in this moment, you're just all right, dude.
Yeah.
But he was still good. Kingpin was great in this, and it's funny because early on I thought he was being honest. He honestly only wanted Vanessa safe.
I
In
knew
the
that
end,
was a plot from
well,
in the Kingpin character.
in the end, that's really all he wanted, though. Like, all he wanted was Vanessa with him, but he wanted something that she could be proud of.
Sure, he was still rebuilding, but even like
The whole
he wanted Vanessa with him, but he was still rebuilding himself.
Well,
Like,
the thing
still,
is, he's a man child, and that I think he believes that the only reason Vanessa loved him or attracted him in the first place was because he was so big and powerful and whatnot. And it takes for him being on the verge of dying for her to for him to realize like, oh, she really just wants to be with me, and like. She's like, I just wanted you, and he's like, oh, really? Like, I didn't have to murder all these people to get this shit back. Are you serious, woman? Are you serious? That kind of thing. Like, because
I did like that they also brought in the Kingpin name here too, which is
sure. Yes, they finally called him that, and I think that I think the sequence with the painting,
that was one of my favorite scenes too. Is when he just got owned, and he like walks in the police office, and he's like, he got to all of you.
Yeah,
and they're like, we don't even refer to him by name. We refer to him by Kingpin.
There we go.
Yeah,
it's like, code name. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the sequence with the painting I thought was confusing. I don't know.
I don't know why that was there, other than like they wanted us. First of all, that's the youngest like Holocaust survivor I've ever seen in like 2018.
It was her family.
No, she said she was a toddler. She said she remembered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I missed that part. I thought I missed that statement. So I just thought that it was her family's, and she knew that. And
that woman has to be 70 years old, and that was a little weird. But
I don't get that whole point. And then you have Poindexter just go over and kill her anyways.
I mean, I guess for what? I don't know. That was a little.
Like, can you adjust your mic? Like, you're
very loud.
You're breaking up and
very
getting a lot of static.
Distorted.
It might be like a cable like moving or something. Just gotta be careful when you move.
So, so we have. Let's go to some other aspects of the story, though, and then just forget the painting.
One thing I really enjoyed was how the entire season he was wearing he wasn't wearing the suit. He was just wearing his black garb, because I think it was really cool, because I think he didn't want to be that symbol anymore. He didn't want to be like the Daredevil that we saw in season 2, where it's like the devil of hell, Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. He just wanted to be, I would say, more like Matt Murdock than like, and really like it's kind of like that Batman thing where it's like, am I Batman or Bruce Wayne? Like, who's the real thing and stuff like that. But this was more of like, I'm just doing what I want to do, and not like I want to be a symbol for the state or the city of New York and stuff like that.
Yes, he was doing it. I mean, he was doing it knowing the whole time thinking he's going to kill Kingpin. Right. So that was the whole thing.
I did like also with him, like, and it could have gone very wrong, but I liked his like inner monologues with the other characters. I thought that they were very interesting, like done well. Whereas like, it could have been really bad, but I think they did a good job there with him like talking to his dad, talking to Kingpin, talking to like different imaginary people in his life. Or not imaginary, but like they were imaginary.
Right.
What do we guys think of the major fight sequence? Obviously, they tried to make their hospital sequence.
That prison sequence was so cool.
The prison hospital area.
Prison was fun.
I thought that whole sequence was pretty. Like, it's the second that sequence started, I'm like, okay, here's their stairwell. This is their stairwell this season. I just knew that's what they were going for, and I think they pulled it off pretty well. It's not as good as the stairwell, but it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah,
he's knocking out of there.
There was actually a lot of like other action sequences that I really liked, maybe even more, because to me, like the whole prison sequence is kind of muddled in my mind. It's just a lot going on.
I think it's very impressive, but again, I think there are better action sequences.
I actually really liked both times he saved Nadim, like in his house.
Oh, the house sequence was good too.
And then when they're both in the van.
So, the van was good too. The transportation of Nadim.
I think it's a good display of like what Daredevil can actually do. Like powers wise, like he can like navigate this whole like area. Like all these guys
shoot now. Yeah, it was
like shoot now. Like like, oh, all right.
By the way, does that count as him killing someone?
No.
No. Okay.
He's not pulling the trigger. He's just telling him shoot. The guy still has choice. We
don't know that the guy died. He might have been shot.
True. But Nadim still had the choice not to pull the trigger. He just said shoot now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that his character was really good this season. And Foggy, like I said, Foggy's story was kind of petered out to nothing. But we reset him back to Nelson and Murdoch again, which I honestly didn't expect this season, because in the comic books, they dissolve in the comic books, right, pretty quickly, and that never comes back. So I was like, I know I'm not a Daredevil comic book reader, but
I
heard
don't.
about
I mean,
that.
I'm not
After
either.
they broke up in season 2, I was like, oh, let me see what happened in the comic books, and they said they never get back as Nelson and Murdoch ever again. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't expect that. And then it happened. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool because I like them being these two lawyers together.
All right.
doing
Well,
that.
that's what happens when you have a syndicated, well, not syndicated, but a series. You
Sure.
you have less to work with, so you have to make it work rather than like, I mean, how long has Daredevil been around? Like 75 years?
Yeah. I mean, it's got
Something like that. I mean,
yeah,
just like
yeah, I know.
60s,
I know. But it's just like something that I'm happy that they did.
I'm sorry, almost 70 years.
You know, resetting them back to Nelson and Murdoch was a great way to finish it. Like this show, this series, this season, and this is unfortunate to say this, but it could have been a finale. It could have been a series finale the way they filmed it.
Yeah, and it might be.
And it might be, unfortunately.
It might be.
But you know, it's good that they went back because I think we didn't really get that much of them actually as Nelson and Murdoch from the first season.
I get you. All right,
so it's good that they all got back together there.
All right, next part. What are we going to talk about next?
I mean, I don't know. I guess we could talk more about Bullseye.
I love the fight sequences between him and Bullseye, like that.
The
scene at the news. Oh god, that was just like,
dude.
Like that's where you fully see like,
that was
wow,
their
this is what
fight.
That's what Bullseye can do. Like, holy shit!
I messaged you on Discord.
Yeah,
I had to go do dismissal duty at my school, where I work, and I'm like, I paused it where he catches the baton before Foggy gets killed, and I'm like, oh shit, I had to pause this, and I paused it right there. I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to stop. This is terrible. It was excruciating. But yeah, great sequence. Wow. It was. I mean, brutal. You get to really see how brutal when you let Bullseye just go loose. How brutal he is.
And I loved seeing it. How it wasn't just straight up like Bullseye was 100% better than him. It's just like as soon as he got into close quarters, like Daredevil, Matt Murdock had the upper hand. Yeah. But that's when Bullseye like pulled away and he started using his specialty with like anything you could pick. Like started with like pens and pencils, staplers, to, like scissors, to like a computer monitor. Just like I'm gonna throw a computer monitor. You're like fuck you. Like what? Like all right. Yeah. Whatever. And you just saw like how they were both using their powers. Like the one part where Matt's hiding behind a cubicle wall, and like he's trying to listen for Bullseye, and then Bullseye picks up like a baseball, and like ricochets it off to hit where Matt is and stuff like. It's like this nice game of like cat and mouse, where like trying to get each other.
It was impressive watching them use the two powers together, and like. It was also a sequence where you don't expect Matt to lose there, but he gets his ass whomped. Yeah. And it's pretty incredible to have the hero like fall at that. You gotta have a hero fall, but like to fail that badly at that point.
That's kind of what this Daredevil does all the time. He always gets his ass kicked.
No, but I mean that was not even just getting your ass kicked. It was complete failure at that point. The guy, their one witness got killed. His friends most of the people in that office were killed. It was like complete.
I gotta say though, it was really stupid. Like the witness.
The plan.
Like, he's just like there. I'm just like, if I were that dude, I'd be like, at least hide under the table or something, like, or in a closet or what. I just like, don't just stand there because like, you obviously know they're coming for you.
Yeah, you're trying to leave that room no matter what.
Right.
Like, you're getting out of there when those two are fighting nonstop,
Right.
But
So
about that fight, I do like that later on, like because that's first about maybe 3 fights between the two of them. You see how like Matt sort of learns his shtick a little bit more, so he's like throwing things to like block the other things. He's like just ready when he has the 2 batons in the final scene, the final fight scene, because he's like ready to block everything he throws. It was interesting to see how he learned.
I was a little confused as to why Matt Murdock Daredevil sends him to get Kingpin, but then like saves Kingpin's life. Like why did
I think he did that to clear his name.
Okay.
I don't think they explicitly said it, but I think he wanted to show that, hey, the guy in the Daredevil suit is not actually Daredevil, because
also,
even the cop said at the very end, they're like, that's not the Daredevil.
I just watched this, so also I think he might have did it to clear the path for him to get in.
Yeah, no, you're right there. And I
literally
actually
just followed the path and he said that's a good one. He listened to him say that's a good one, so he only knocked out most of those FBI guys on the outside, and then he went in.
Yeah, I think he was banking on the fact that guy wouldn't cause too much to the actual FBI because he was one.
And he importantly he brought Jill along.
Sure.
Sure. Julia.
Yeah, I think it was Julia. I think it was Julia.
Whatever. Yeah. But and I got to be honest, like at that point, I could see Matt being like, you know what? In the worst case scenario, Bullseye just kills Kingpin for me, and whatever. My conscience is clear. Yeah, it's like my hands are clean.
For a second, I thought that was kind of his plan, or that he would actually kill Vanessa.
I thought Vanessa was going to die in this season.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
So too. But then I'm like, and that was the first time, like, because like if he actually like went and decided to like beat up Kingpin like to death or something, like, eh. But if he like sending Dex after him like that, like if that's what he was doing, I was like, that seems a little much.
Yeah.
Because like Dex is like the worst thing possible, pretty much.
Yeah, well,
it's just way out of control.
It was more of a still out of control Matt. He wasn't quite himself yet because he was still.
I mean, it was that, or it was just his plan to sort of follow him.
It could be
stop him from killing too many people.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, the finale was excellent. Again, talking about that, I think that, like I said, a lot of this was filmed, and I felt bad thinking that while watching. I'm like, man, this could really be a series finale. I'm that content. If this was a series finale, I am perfectly content.
100%.
And how often can you say that about a show? Like in general,
not very often.
Yeah. So I'm like pretty happy with this entire season of the show. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of sequences?
Yeah. Well, I just really like to say that the end sequence where like anytime they thought they had Kingpin cornered, like he got like when Foggy was trying to be DA and like that plan fell through, and then when Karen tried to confront him, that plan fell through. When they got Nadeem when they got the first witness and he died, and then they got Nadeem to testify, and then that fell through because they he had gotten to the jurors, and Nadeem's like, there's nothing like. Kingpin can do any, like he is above the law, and I love that duality. And I don't think they dwelled on it too much because I think it would have been bad. But like the whole like thing between him and Foggy, where it's like we tried it your way, like we tried the law, he's above the law. Like the whole like no, like we can change the system, which is I think that one of the core things why Nelson and Murdoch didn't work out the first time around. But I just love that how he's like, no, we tried it your way, we're doing it my way, because like they're trying to get him to not.
Kill him, yeah.
Because he could have in that one episode, but he had to come back and save
Karen
and stuff like that.
Which was, I love that sequence in the church. Like I thought that sequence was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
but my favorite sequence is absolutely the final parts of the fight in the last episode where Bullseye just got taken out of the fight, and Daredevil's just wailing on Kingpin. And the blood splattering on the painting and stuff like that, and he's at that moment where he's about to kill him, and Vanessa pleads for him to stop, and he's just like, I love the acting of both these characters, but like just watching, you're just like, because he's like just yelling like at the top of his lungs because he like knows he can't do it, and then Kingpin's trying to egg him on like, I will never stop coming after Foggy or Foggy Nelson or Karen Page, blah blah blah. I will reveal your secret. I'll tell them who you are, like that thing. And then I especially love Matt, like the actor. What's his name?
Cox. Yeah. What's his first name?
Charlie
Cox.
Charlie Cox. Yeah, I love when Charlie Cox is like, you won't, because I'll come after her. Like this city rejected you. This city beat you. I beat you. Like just like nailing that home. Just like
delivery was.
I beat you. It's just like damn. Like that was good delivery.
And this whole time he does it, and he's real good at it. He does it without focusing on him with his eyes.
Yep. He keeps that blind.
I know. Yeah. But I love that last, the three biggest characters just all fighting in this one room at the end, and it was crazy. That was a great. But I really did think Vanessa was going to die.
Yeah, me too.
And the way that ends now, you sort of, even though we might not get a season 4, we might, but you could definitely see like something where you have this conflict of interest where Vanessa is pretty much a crime lord, and he can't touch him. Can't touch her.
Well, so that's what I want to talk about. Like, if we do get a season 4, I actually think the season 4 structure will be, because we saw Bullseye getting repaired by mysterious scientists or whatever, doctor.
Was this the alleged tie to Wolverine? That thing?
It was that doctor right there. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, but because in the comics he gets aluminum or not adamantium,
because the doctor's name is the doctor that put the adamantium in Wolverine.
I didn't hear any doctors' names in that.
It was on the screen or something like that, Oyama or something like that. It was like it was on.
It's there. It's there. Okay. I saw it on some sites, but I think they said it was some other material.
They didn't. Yeah, they said like some sort of steel.
Yeah. But they set him up to be where I think if we do get a season 4, it's going to be about Bullseye going after Vanessa because
it could be, and I think they set that up nicely too. So.
And that'll be an interesting thing because now Daredevil has to protect Vanessa because if she dies, then Kingpin just
all bets are off.
All hell, yeah, right. All bets are off.
It'll be a working with Kingpin kind of scenario too. It's going to be. It'd be cool to see. So Tony froze.
Yeah, no, you could definitely see like if that happens, like him visiting Kingpin and having a great conversation with him, like where they're both tense but like on the same side. Yeah, that would be fun. I do hope we get a season 4.
You're good. You're back, Tony. I know you froze for a second. But yeah, I think we still get a season 4. The ratings didn't drop apparently if these numbers are correct that much. So we should still get it.
It was a bit, but yeah.
It was a bit.
It dropped. I have no doubt that it dropped from season 2. But
I think the word of mouth on this is a lot better.
I think the word of mouth is stronger, and I think there's enough goodwill that they'll squeeze one more out of this, especially if they could tie it back with Punisher, because that would be to me really cool if we get in season 4 like this triangle of Daredevil, Bullseye, and Punisher.
Yeah,
I think that would be super cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I would love to see Punisher face Bullseye.
Right?
That would be cool. That would be really awesome. Now you guys got me wishing for that now. Okay. Yeah, so ranking this, guys, show-wise, I think I'm going to put this one Jessica Jones season 1 for me still, and then this, and then season 1 Daredevil.
I don't know why you like that first.
I love it because I'm a big
David Tennant.
Big David Tennant.
David Tennant's a great.
He nailed that villain. He nailed that villain. It was so good.
That was good, but I don't know. Those other supporting characters were so annoying.
Such a good.
I don't think so. Season 1, I liked all the characters.
Yeah, I don't think they weren't as bad as season 2.
I mean, no, nothing is as bad as season 2.
Where would you guys?
Guy was not that good, but anyway,
where would you rank this one?
This is my favorite season that Marvel's Netflix shows have put out.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
had the best villain. Had the best iteration. Like I said, I love the breaking the character down to his core and to like rebuild him to who he needs to be.
Sure.
And
you got that. You got the real Kingpin. You got the real Kingpin.
Right. Got the real Kingpin. All the supporting characters were great. Bringing back all the threads from previous seasons that made sense and weren't like, oh, we're just gonna shoe this in because it happened before. It's like no, they actually all played integral parts to the show's plot and the progression of where the show went. And so, yeah, everything about this season was, in my opinion, the best season that they put out. And it's like mind-boggling that Daredevil is so much higher in quality than the other Marvel shows. Like, do they not talk to each other? Like, come on.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately part of it. As for my rankings, before I get into like any explanation or follow up on that, I would say I don't know. I have to go through Daredevil season 1 again because I haven't done that since that first year it came out.
I've seen that twice.
But I would say it's like right up there. I want to give it some more time to stew and digest, but it's seriously right up there between Daredevil season 1 and then, like I'd say, like Jessica Jones maybe a little bit beneath that, but like Daredevil season 1, Daredevil season 3, and then Jessica Jones. Like it's right there. It's
my pushover was the Kingpin in this season was better than the first season Kingpin, and he was good in season 1. But
yeah, I can see that because season 1 like it's the newness factors. This is like this is kickoff to like the first universe because like. Whatever, but like absolutely I would agree that, in season 3, there's more payoff. There's just more character development. There's just, things paying off for you watching all these other series and stuff like that. So it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting, like thing that you just mentioned, Corey. I read this really interesting interview with, I believe I forget if it was the showrunner or the writer, but basically who they got for season 3. And he's just talking about like why he was doing, like what his inspiration was for a lot of it. And one interesting thing is he said that the only restriction Marvel said was these are the pieces, aka characters, that you cannot break. Like anything else, go wild, but these characters have to be around by the end of the season. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I think, and that was Marvel, that was not Netflix. Mm-hmm. It was Marvel said we want you to keep these pieces around just in case we want to use them.
Yeah, because
still a possibility.
What's funny is because like what little I do know about Daredevil comics is both those characters have been killed off before in certain versions of the story.
Sure.
Yeah, but everybody's died in comics.
Yeah,
There's been a character that has not been killed in comics.
But like I think some of the more iconic Daredevil stories involve both of their deaths.
Yeah. No. Well, Anyways, Mike, where would you rank this one for you?
It's hard to say. It's obviously very fresh. I watched the last 2 episodes today.
Yeah, you probably have to stew on it a little longer.
But it's the same thing for me though. It's up there. It's probably it's the front runner maybe. Then
it's close.
And season 1. Then I guess I mean yeah.
Jessica Jones.
I guess Jessica Jones season 1 that was good.
Have to take Jessica Jones season 1.
I mean,
Jessica Jones season 1 is definitely like I think I would say that's number 2 as well for me, and then
no, I mean that's third.
Well, actually, no, I'd say Punisher.
Punisher.
I guess.
You know what?
I don't watch Punisher.
Yep. Punisher was very good too.
You know what? I will say this. You know what? Now that we talk about this, I'm gonna watch Punisher next because
that's true.
I just got on the movie cast. I was like, I don't really have anything to watch right now because Castlevania, Daredevil. That's on. I'll watch Punisher.
There we go. The first episode of Punisher.
Yeah, you don't have to watch that. Skip it.
You guys all agree that I should just skip the first episode?
Absolutely, skip the first episode.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that episode that happened that is carryover other than him shaving and like
no, there's zero reason to watch the first
episode. Nothing that happens in episode 1 matters at all to the character.
If you want to watch it like as a movie, like a 1-hour movie, it's a self-contained episode with nothing to do with anything else in the show.
Okay,
they're introduced in this and then just never show up again.
Yes.
And and he shaves.
Okay. Yeah. There are, I guess, some plot characters introduced, but they get reintroduced in the next episode after that anyways. There's 0 point to watch it, really. There's 0 point to watch it.
Okay.
You will not be less informed than we were when we started episode 2.
Okay.
I mean, I'm curious to see if you want to like watch the series and then go back and watch it.
I'll do that.
That might be the better
idea.
I'll
be the litmus test, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, I think it's going to wrap up this Spoilercast round. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allycangeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to this YouTube video if you're watching us on YouTube. Thanks again. Yep, Daredevil's awesome, and we'll see you soon. All right, hang on. Oh.